Okay, so site measuring or measuring and siting are techniques that you can use for accurate proportions. This is for when you are working from observation. So we're going to talk about three major siting techniques, and then I'll throw in a little bit on angles at the end. But the main ones that we're going to focus on are finding the midpoint, plumb and level lines, and comparative measurements. Something to keep in mind that one strategy may work well for one object or an entire drawing, and not so well for another. So when you're site measuring, you can keep all these strategies in mind, and if one isn't working or isn't helpful, just try something else. So you'll kind of work your way around the drawing, and you'll get used to using all three of them interchangeably. Okay, the way you do this is you use a tool. Typically, we teach this with your pencil because it's convenient. All you need is a straight tool. You can also use like a skewer since it's longer. Sometimes that's helpful, but a pencil is fine. And I do have a video for you guys. This is something that's a little bit difficult to go over online instead of just showing you in person. But there is a good video I found on YouTube, so it should be pretty clear after you watch that. But here's just an idea of what you'll be doing. So you're going to take your tool and you'll hold it out in front of you with your elbow locked. That's very important, so it stays the same distance away from your eye. And then you'll hold your tool vertical, right? So perpendicular to the ground, or you can turn it horizontal if you're doing horizontal measurements, but I'm trying not to angle it like towards you at any type of weird angle or away from you. So you keep it straight up and down, or straight across left and right. Okay, so the first one we'll talk about is finding the midpoint. Finding a midpoint starts you off on your drawing with a major proportional problem solved. Your subject will have been divided into two manageable halves, and more important, they'll be placed correctly on your page. This measurement is used in the early stages of the drawing, probably only once, and it will save you trouble later on. So again, we're talking about from observation, and in this definition, we're talking about finding the midpoint of the entire composition. You can also use the midpoint within objects if it's helpful, and I'll show you how to do this on the next slide. Okay, so let's do it on one object. If you were to do this for your entire composition, you would just measure all of the objects together, right? You would sort of group it together. But let's do this on the pair because I think it's easier to view this way. So to find the midpoint, you'll find the width of the object. So that blue line there indicates the height of the pair. I did height, I wrote width. It doesn't matter which one you do because we're going to do both. So I found the measurement of the pair from the thickest point, right? I'm showing you on the end here, just so you understand that, but it's from the top and the bottom, right? To the highest point and the lowest point. Okay, find the perpendicular line off the center of this line. So that's why it's easier on the left side here. So all I did was I took this line, found the exact middle by measuring, and then drew a horizontal line across. This is the midline of the object. And then if you cross that again in the center, you'll find the midpoint of the pair. So you can use the midpoint, horizontal and vertical midlines for individual objects as well as the overall composition. This is just something to help you kind of visualize each half, so it breaks down the object into manageable halves, right? It's helpful.